It is finished.
At the moment of his death, the veil of the temple was rent in twain, and a darkness, deep, unearthly, filled with terror, fell upon Jerusalem. And now there came into the record a good man and a just, as St. Matthew refers to him, Joseph of Arimathea. He was a member of the Sanhedrin itself, yet he had not consented to the deeds his fellow counselors had a hand in. And now, risking their fury on himself, he begged from Pilate the body of Jesus. And we are told he took it down and wrapped it in linen, and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, where never man before was laid. Against the mouth of this sepulchre, a heavy stone was rolled, and the women of Galilee who had watched the burial returned into the city to prepare spices and ointments with which they might anoint his body. Throughout the whole of the period of the Passover itself, through the quiet of the Sabbath, they rested, in accordance with the law of Moses. To the disciples who had forsaken Jesus in his hour of need in Gethsemane, all now seemed over. The master they had hailed as the Messiah was crucified and buried. And as they drew together again in Jerusalem, torn with grief and overshadowed by despair, it seemed to them that all for which they had worked and prayed was now forever lost to them. Among the many thousands of happier men and women keeping the Passover, they withdrew into a house where they found some peace and stillness in their mutual grief. Another day began to dawn at last upon the holy city. And those faithful women who had been last at the cross were now first at the sepulchre. But Mary, the mother of Jesus, was not with them. In the twilight of earliest dawn, they made their way with the spices they had prepared up the lonely hillside to the tomb where Jesus had been laid. In their eagerness, the two Marys, Mary, the mother of James, and Mary Magdalene, hurried a little ahead.
It is yet hard to see where we are going, Mary. Here, take thou my hand across these rocks.
Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre?
I did hear tell last night that the chief priests asked the governor that they might keep the guard about the tomb.
I see no sign of them. Look, there is the sepulchre.
The stone is rolled away already.
I wonder what hath befallen here.
Here, come with me into the sepulchre. Look, I do perceive a vision there.
It seemeth like a young man sitting there, all wrapped in light. Or is he dressed in robes so white I cannot tell them from the light?
Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified. Why seek ye the living among the dead? Behold the place where they laid him. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and be crucified, and the third day rise again. He is not here. He is risen.
Trembling with this tremendous news, the women hurried back through the pale sunrise of the first Easter morning to the 11 disciples. But as St. Luke says, their words seemed to them like idle tales, and they believed them not. The impetuous Peter, though, rose all the same and ran unto the sepulchre. And John not only followed him, but, we are told, outstripped him, coming first unto the empty tomb. Inside, they saw the linen clothes lying where the body of Jesus had lain, and the napkin that had been about his head was now wrapped together in a place by itself. Back the two men ran again, breathless with wonder, to the others. But Mary Magdalene returned to the tomb alone, and it was her eyes which were to be the first to see the risen Lord. According to St. John, she stooped and looked in the sepulchre and saw two angels in white, sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain.
Woman, why weepest thou?
Because they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him.
She turned back in her grief, away from the sepulchre, and her tear-filled eyes beheld a figure standing there. In the earliest light of day, she thought it was the gardener.
Sir, if thou have borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away.
Mary?
Master.
Touch me not, for I have not yet ascended to my Father. But go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.
As quickly as she could, Mary Magdalene came to the disciples and told them she had seen the Lord. A little later on this day, two of the disciples were walking to the little village of Emmaus, some 8 miles or so from the holy city. The sun was high now, and the day full of the sounds of spring. But the talk of these two disciples was heavy with grief and sorely troubled.
How can we know if what the women said be true?
The women are beside themselves with grief. They might imagine many things at such a time.
I have been saying to myself what things the Master told us near the end. And still it seemeth like a dream.
Watch what thou sayest, friend. Here comes a stranger.
What manner of communications are these that ye have, one to another, as ye talk and are sad?
Art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things that are come to pass in these days?
What things?
Concerning Jesus of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and have crucified him. We thought it had been he which should have redeemed Israel.
And beside all this, today is the 3rd day since these things were done.
Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. When they found not his body, they came, saying that they'd also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive.
But him they saw not.
O fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and entered into his glory?